Hey, Gems, welcome back. I'm super excited to have you guys back for episode 2, and I'm super excited about this topic. I've had a lot of people kind of nudge me and say, hey, this is what we want to hear. So today we're talking about money. So, a lot of people ask me, how am I able to make a living by being an influencer and a creator? Obviously, I have my business, Handmade Haven, but I rely heavily on social media and being an influencer to make money. So, today we're going to be walking through all the ways that you're able to make a living or make money doing what I do. I know in the first episode, I talked about the steps that I took in order to leave my 9 to 5. And one of those was coming up with revenue sources of revenue. So I'm hoping today to kind of just go through a list of all the ways that I've been able to make money and what kind of helped me to leave my job, in the hopes that this will kind of help you, whether that's, using the same sources of revenue, or whether that kind of helps you create your own sources. So, a lot of what I'll be going through is in my ebook. I have an ebook. It's called How to Make Money Online, and it is very detailed. It details all the ways I make money. I'm going to be touching a lot of points in that ebook. I can't go through all of it because we would literally be here all day. So if there's something that I say that sticks out to you or you want more information, the information is in that ebook and it's on my website. My website is handmade-haven.com. Just go to the ebook section and it's called How to Make Money Online. All right, well, let's dive in. So I think the best way to kind of get into it is to just kind of take you through the timeline of how I started to make money. I don't think it would be fair to tell you what I do now because I've been doing it for 6 years now. So I'm just going to kind of take you down the little, road of how I started to make money from the very beginning. And then depending on, wherever you are in your journey, you can kind of take what I did and apply it to wherever you are in your journey. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about social media. Now, don't we all love social media? I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with social media. Yes, social media has helped me so much in my business and just to be able to get my business out here. But listen, people on social media today, have no chill. They really be coming for me. And God made me this way, but some days, I'll just ignore the hard, the hard comments, the harsh comments. But some days I be ready for a little snapback. But y'all, the Lord's still working on me on that. So social media. So when I first started my business, I started off on social media. Instagram was the first social media platform that I started on. And, my goal was basically, one, to learn the craft, which is woodworking. I started woodworking. And two, to just get my name out there. So for the first couple of months, that was my goal, to grow my social media and kind of get my name out there. That's kind of the long goal. You want people to know who you are. But I do want to say, even though I wanted people to know who I am, I want to make sure that people know that you don't need a lot of followers to make money. I feel like that's a myth. People feel like they have to have tons of followers to make money, and that's not necessarily true. So I want to put that out there. Yes, it helps to have followers. Obviously, that can be appealing to brands and things like that. But I just want to put that out there because I didn't have a ton of followers when I started making a lot of money. Up until the 5-year mark, I only had 25,000 followers on Instagram. Now I have 250,000 followers, and I think, newer followers assume that, I'm only making good money because I have a lot of followers, but that isn't necessarily true. I was around 25,000 followers and I was still making 6 figures. So I just want to encourage you to not let the follower count discourage you, because that's not always what matters. So now, I also want to put this out, that your own website is king. When I started off with Instagram, and a lot of my focus was on Instagram, but I also had my website. And I want to say this, having your own website is extremely important. I know it's so easy to just start on Instagram, start on social medias, and that's good. You want that. But having your own website is key because it is 100% yours. Like, sure, Instagram has been around for a while, Facebook has been around for a while, but you don't own it. Like, if they were to take it away tomorrow, everything that's on it will be gone. And it's like, if it was to go away, like, where are you going to direct people? Like, if someone's like, okay, where are your projects? Instagram is gone. Like, you want to make sure that you have your own website that you can point people to. And that was the philosophy I took on very early. I wanted to use social media to market my business and market my work, but I always bring people back to my website. So if it's like, hey guys, look at this pretty picture of this desk, go to my website if you want to see the tutorial. You want to make sure that you're putting time into your own website so you'll always have that. So I just want to say that social media is good, but website is king. So for me, I know there's a lot of social medias, and a lot of times people ask me like, how do you do all the social medias? Because it is a lot. So I just want to share my strategy. When I started with Instagram and my website, obviously, and I made goals for each social media. So for Instagram, I told myself I want to get to 10,000 followers. Once I get to 10,000 followers, I'll add in another social media. So I started with Instagram. Then I added in Pinterest. And then for Pinterest, same thing. Like, once I get to this point, I'll add in Facebook. So that way it wasn't overwhelming. It was kind of like, okay, I reached my goal and then I add in another social media. Right now I'm on all social medias because it can only help you to get your name out there. But I know it's a lot, so don't feel overwhelmed. Like, if you don't feel like you can do all the social medias, just pick a couple that you like. But make sure you focus on that website. Now, before we go into the specifics, I do want to say that one of the most important things to note when you're trying to make money from a business is that consistency is key, especially on social media. Like, you want to make sure that you're being consistent with whatever you're doing, whether that's posting, constantly learning your craft. Whatever you're doing, like, make sure you're consistent. If you feel like you're stuck, haven't been making any money, and you've already been doing, whatever it is you want to do with your business, ask yourself, am I being consistent? How often am I posting? How often am I, doing things to learn my craft? Like, am I studying? Am I doing research? Like, what is it that you're doing to get to where you want to be? Because consistency is always going to be key. When I first started, I posted literally every day. I built something every week for the first 5 months. I was super consistent, and that really skyrocketed me into my business. So with whatever you're doing with these revenue sources, you got to keep it consistent. So just want to put that out there. But yeah, now we're going to dive into the nitty gritty. We're going to get to the good stuff that I know you guys want to hear. And these are the actual ways that I am able to make money as an influencer. And I think it's so funny because I think a lot of people who are kind of new to like the influencer world or creator world, older people, I think they're surprised that you actually can make money as an influencer. But yes, you can make money. I know one time I was talking to this older lady, and I was telling her, I was like, I'm going to leave my job, soon in a couple months. She was like, well, how are you going to make a living? And I was explaining to her, like, what I do. Like, I make an income, so I'll be able to support myself. So, if you're not a believer, you can make money, and we're going to get into it now. Now, we're going to go with this source of revenue first because this was the first way that I was able to make money. My first few months actually in, I was able to start making, a little bit of change, not too much, but, it was enough to make me really excited. So that is affiliate marketing. So the official definition of affiliate marketing is the process of earning money or commissions every time you promote a brand's product. Now, you may have been on social media and seen, people, doing affiliate marketing. Basically, if it's like, hey guys, I'm using this tool to build my bench. Here's a link to the tool. Normally it's an affiliate link. And if someone buys it, that person gets a commission off of, that purchase. So that is affiliate marketing. And that was the first way I was able to make money. Especially with me building furniture, it was super easy for me because I would show people on Instagram like, hey, I built this desk. And then I would just link everything that I used. And a lot of people would want to check out those links because they wanted to know what tools I was using to build my furniture. So that was the easiest way right off the bat to make money. And I feel now with the way Instagram is with stories and things like that, that's probably the easiest way for you to start making money as a new blogger or new business person, whatever. So affiliate marketing, guys, write that down or just go get the ebook because it's in there. So affiliate marketing, I signed up for Amazon Associates. I'm going to say that again for the ones who aren't listening. Amazon Associates. I was able to apply to Amazon, and I like Amazon Associates because you can like put a link on your Instagram, say I'm linking a tool, and if somebody clicks it, even if they don't buy that tool, if they buy something else, you can get a commission off of it. And I would say in the first 3 to 5 months, I was making anywhere from $100 to $300 doing affiliate marketing, which for me, a new person in business, I was like, extra $200, $300 a month. I was like, this is good. Like, I'll take this. Not even knowing where it could take me, but I was super content with that. And I feel like who doesn't want to make an extra $200, $300 a month? So if you're first starting off and you're wondering, how can I like make fast money, quick money? I feel like this is the quickest way. Now, it does take work, obviously, and consistency, but that's one of the easier ways. I also want to mention Like to Know It. That's another affiliate marketing platform that I use. I started kind of using that later on. Amazon was one of the ones that I used, early on. So that's probably more popular, probably will be more successful for other people. But Like to Know It is the same kind of platform. You can use it, to get referral links. So once you post those links and people buy them, you can get a commission and start making money. So that's the first source of revenue. So if you haven't started that already, please get on it. All right. Next, we're going into the second source of revenue that I have, and that is ad income. So if you've ever gone to somebody's website and saw an ad, or, you see ads all the time now because I feel like they're everywhere. It's kind of annoying now. But ad income was one of the ways that I started making money on for my business, specifically on my website. I had ads on my website. So when people visited my website, I would make money through, whether they clicked on it or what have you. So that was honestly a really good way to make money for me. Early on, I did it myself through Google AdSense. I'll say that again, Google AdSense. And I was able to put ads on my website myself. It was a little tedious because I had to do it myself, but it was a good way to make extra money. Again, I think, $100 to $200 a month I was making from Google AdSense. And that was like the first 3 or 5 months. So again, I'm new to this. I'm just starting off. I really don't have that, that much traffic to my blog, but I was able to make that good money through Google AdSense and ad income. Now, once I started getting a lot of traffic, and again, using social media to, bring people to my website, promote my business, then I was able to apply for a private ad network. And basically, private ad networks is basically, them putting ads on your website so that you don't have to. They kind of, do the work for you. And you're going to get paid a lot more because it's a private ad network. So people know there are high quality blogs that are with this network. So they're going to want to pay more. So once I reached around 100,000 visitors a month, I was able to apply for the private ad network. Now, I know everybody doesn't have 100,000 visits to their blog a month. So that's why I mentioned Google AdSense, because that's where I started. For Google AdSense, there is no threshold of how many people you need in your website, but you can always work to that. So right now, I partner with AdThrive, and they put ads on my website. So when people visit my website, I get paid when people click it, or, just for views, which is a good way to make money. It's passive income. And I think in 2021, I had made like 36 grand in ad income. And again, that's passive income. So All I'm doing is keeping my website alive and I'm making money in my sleep, which is the best way to make money in my opinion. So that's kind of another like starter way to make money if you're new. I think, those two, affiliate marketing and AdCom, are great ways to kind of make a splash if you're new. So that's that. Next, I feel like is a super popular one, and that is brand partnerships. Now, a lot of people, if you follow me, you see that I've worked with so many great brands. Home Depot being one of my biggest sponsors. I love working with them. More recently, I just partnered with Sunbrella, Leslie's Pools, and the list goes on and on and on. Right now, brand partnerships is how I make most of my money right now. I mentioned in episode 1 that, sources of revenue are up and down. So in my first year, brand partnerships was like my third lowest of in the order of what I was making more money in. And now it's first. So that's why it's important to have, different sources of revenue because it can be up and down. But for brand partnerships, it's a really good way to make money. And if you don't know how it works, it's simply, I'll reach out to a brand partnership or a brand partner, I should say, or they'll reach out to me and say like, hey, we had this campaign, say, the brand is Weenies. I just made that up. I feel like that was a bad, okay, say it's like a flower company. That's a little better. And they reach out to me and say, hey, Ashley, we're having a campaign and we want you to show everyone like how good our flowers are. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love your flowers. I use them all the time. I love to do your campaign. And, there's basically like stipulations of, what they want people to see. And I basically show people and I kind of serve as like an ad for them. I have lots of followers, so I'm able to show my followers their product and in return, they pay me. So right now, that's kind of one of the biggest ways that I'm able to get paid. And most of the time for me, the brands that reach out to me and the products they have are products that I already use. I'm very big on making sure that I only promote the products that I truly believe in. Please do not promote products that you do not believe in or that you do not use or that you do not like. That is a big no. You don't want to do that. Like, you want to make sure that your followers can trust you. You want to make sure that, people can take your word for something. You don't just want to promote any old thing. So if you're going to work with brands, work with the people who have good products, please. Because I see a lot of people who would just promote anything. And I know I can understand, you want to make money, you got to pay the bills, but it's not worth your reputation. It's not worth your word. So just want to put that out there. Promote things you actually like, please. There's enough, trust me, there's enough brands out there like for you to promote the things that you like. Don't be a yes man. So yeah, I'm going to get off that horse. So with brand partnerships, you may be wondering like, well, how do I even start? Like, how do I even appeal to brands? And I want to say that you want to make yourself visible. And it's very funny because I went to this blogging conference and I was speaking on how to pitch to brands. And I asked the question, I was like, okay, how many people in here have a dream brand that they want to work with? And almost the whole room raised their hand. I was like, okay, leave your hand up if you've interacted with that brand on social media this week. And almost all the hands were down. Which, gives to the point, like, if you have a brand you want to work with, like, interact with them, engage with them, like, make yourself visible. And I detailed this in my ebook, but the first brand that I ever worked with, first couple months in when I was still really new, the first thing that I was telling myself was, they need to know who I am. Like, how are they going to know who I am? So I was like, I made it a point. I was like, they going to know who I am at the end of the month. So every time I posted, I was posting their tools. I was tagging them. I was on their page. I was commenting on all their posts. I was like, oh, nice tool. Like, oh, that's great. Like, I was making sure that they saw me. And I think a lot of people, they don't even think about that. And they're not even interacting with the brands that they love. Like, if there's a brand that you want to work with, like, go to their page, like turn on the bell notification, like let them know who you are, that you exist, like actually buy their products. Like there was brands I wanted to work with and I wasn't just in it to get free product or money. It was like, I really believe in this brand. So, I invested in some of their products to show them like, hey, this is how I can show off your tools. Like this is how, a partnership between the two of us can work. So first thing with like brand partnerships, if you want to get started, is making yourself visible. Now, another thing that I think is super important is creating a media kit. Again, I'm not going to go into super detail into this because it'll take way too long, but a media kit is just like a one-stop shop that gives the brands kind of an insight of like who you are, you and your business, who you worked with, like what your analytics look like and things like that. So when you go to them to like pitch a brand, they kind of give like a snapshot of who you are like in, 30 seconds to a minute or so. Instead of you trying to, write a long list, you send a media kit, and it's just a professional way to kind of let brands know, who you are. So that's that. And then I will say when it comes to brand partnerships, learning how to like pitch effectively is super important. And I go into detail like on a really good pitch in my ebook. But you want to make sure that you're standing out. When you pitch brands, they probably get tons of pitches all the time. Like I can't even imagine how many pitches they get. So you want to stand out. You don't want to be mundane. Like just imagine like you reading 100 pitches and it's like the same thing. It's boring. Like it's not informative. I know for me, when I pitch specifically, like my point is to make sure they have no questions after they read my email. Like I'm telling them the timeline of my project, what I want to do exactly, how it will help them. I'm giving them examples of what it will look like, all that. Like I make sure that I give them all the details. So you want to make sure that you learn how to pitch effectively and things like that. And also with like negotiating rates, like that's important too, because you want to make sure that you're getting paid what you're worth. And, for me now, this is my living. So I want to make sure that I'm getting paid effectively, for my time and things like that. So those are just some, little tidbits if you want to get into brand partnerships and things like that. You want to make sure you're doing all those things to set yourself apart so you can make that money. So on to the next one. Now, this is one of my favorite ways to make money because I feel like there are like endless opportunities and ideas of how you can make money, and that is product sales. Now, I will say with product sales, this is a revenue source that kind of came later down the line because I feel like, in the first couple of years, you're still kind of learning what to do. You're learning your craft. So it may not be the best to do some of these things that I'm going to list because you want to make sure, you're an expert in your field or you at least have a good understanding of what you're doing. I have tons of products now. Well, I won't say a ton, but I have a few products that I'm able to sell to make some good money. And I love this source of revenue because I feel like I can kind of control it a little more. With brand partnerships, it's kind of like, I have to wait for them to reach out to me or I have to do the work to reach out to them. Whereas product sales, it's, something that I can create and I can kind of control it a little better. And I feel like it's a little more stable income. So this is why I like this source better. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through some of the products that I have and how I got to creating them. So when I first started, I saw a lot of like bloggers and influencers who had like courses and different products on their website. And I was always like, I want to have products too. Like, I want to have courses. But in the beginning, I was just like, I don't know what to sell. Like, I don't know. Like, I just had no idea, like, where to start. So I first want to say, I feel like when it comes to products and creating products, it's probably going to be a lot easier once you kind of get into your business a little bit, because it takes a little time to learn things, especially if you're offering like a course where you're teaching people. It's going to take a little while, to kind of get your reins, like understand what it is you're doing. So if you don't come up with a product right away, if you're first starting, that's okay. This is probably a revenue source that will come a little later. But you can always get creative. But for me, I let my audience tell me what my products are going to be. And I mean, that basically means what it sounds like. I let them tell me what products I'm going to sell. So basically, with my first product, I created printable plans for my furniture products, which is basically like 3D mock-ups of my furniture. And I would get messages all the time like, do you have plans? Do you have plans for your furniture? Like that desk you built, do you have plans? And I'll always be like, no, I don't have plans. So eventually, after so many people messaged me, I was like, I need plans. Like, people are like, if you had plans, I'd buy them. I'm like, okay, well. And it's so funny because I had free plans on my website. And I was like, maybe I could like try to charge for the plans. And I was actually talking to my friend at the time. And I was like, I kind of wanted to charge for the plan, but I feel like they're not going to buy it. Da 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 da. And I was like, this is stupid, And he was like, well, just try it. He was like, I mean, it's already free. So I was like, all right. So I put 2 of my plans up and I charged $2.99 for it. Do y'all know I have made like $400 that week just from those plans, like $2.99. And I specifically like priced them low because I was like, if I get a ton of people to buy for $2.99, I can make good money. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, I think I got something here. So I'm like, I'm going to start charging for my plans. And it's like, I mean, I'm taking my time to create this stuff. It's like, yeah, it'd be nice to offer it for free, but it's like, my time is important. And, I'm worth $4.99. So, I started creating plans on my website and they do really well. Like literally, I think, during COVID, when everybody was home, I made like 70 grand on those plans. Like, I was like, dang, that's like crazy. And it's great because it's like once I make a plan, I put it out there, it's done. Like my work is done. So making those plans was a great way for me to make money, but it was also just listening to my audience. Like your audience usually is going to tell you what they want. Like a lot of people will message you and ask you for things like, hey, do you have this, da 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 da. Listen to them. Like that's what they want. So kind of let them drive you. If you're stuck, you can't think of ways to make products, let them drive you. So another product that I offer now is design services. And again, that came from my audience. One time I did like this fun little thing on Instagram where I was like, send me your room and I'll design it for you. And I literally had hundreds of people sending me pictures. And somebody was like, I would pay for this. And, they saw the designs I was doing. And again, I was like, you would, huh? So that night, I literally made like a whole design page where people could sign up. And it's funny because I was like, oh, $45, I'll design your room. And I had so many signups, like because it was priced way under what it should have been. But I had so many signups. And it's like, again, like, I let my audience like create a product for me. And it's like, I mean, I'm a good designer, there's a need there, people want to design their homes. So why not create a product and create an additional revenue source from you? I'm pretty sure there's at least 1 or 2 messages where people have been in your inbox and they're like, do you have this? Or do you have a list? Like, it's the same with like affiliate marketing. Like, hey, tell me what tools you use. Okay, well, let me send you to my website where I've linked all the tools that I use. And if you buy it, I'll make money. Like it's the same thing. You kind of essentially are letting your audience like tell you what you need to have on your website, like what kind of things you're posting. And that can help because you're feeling a need. And I feel like it's always better when someone messages you and it's like, hey, do you have design service? And you can point them to a product versus saying, no, I don't have that. Because when when they come to you and they're like, hey, do you have a list of beginner tools? And I can send them a link of all the tools. They're like, man, she's helpful. Like, I want to stick around versus no, I don't have that. And they don't feel like their needs are being met. So, obviously when people following you, they're following you because they feel like they're getting something. Like, and if you have a social media and you're not growing or you're not making money, I would like ask yourself, like when people come to my page, what are they getting out of it? Like, because people want to feel like they're getting something, whether that's inspiration, whether it's humor, making them feel good, whether it's practical things like tips and tricks. Like, people want to feel like they're coming to you for something. So, another way that I make money is my ebooks. Obviously, those came later on, probably like after 5 years of, me doing what I'm doing. I wanted to make sure that if I was putting out like ebooks or courses, I actually like knew what I was talking about. Because earlier on in my career, I had bought a couple of courses and I feel like they were trash. I'm gonna just say they were trash. And I spent a bunch of money. So I was really upset. So, I made sure when I wrote my ebook, one, I priced it well. It's under $100, because I feel like people don't want to spend all that money on books. But I wanted to make sure that it was priced well and also it was detailed. So like in my ebook, obviously I talk about it, how to make money online, and I have several others. I detail everything. I give real numbers so you can see like what I was actually making, and I break it down step by step so you can really like know how to make money. So that's another way that you can make money. Create courses and ebooks on whatever it is that you're doing. If you're an expert in your field, walking people through it, whether that's like an ebook where it's written form or a course where it's like video or, YouTube tutorials, whatever that may be, whatever it looked like, you can use that and leverage that to make money. So those are just some of the different ways that I make money. I also have a clothing line. I just started this podcast, so hopefully, that'll make money. Who knows? But there's always ways to leverage what you're doing to create revenue for yourself. So it's a new age. Social media is a win for us because we can use it to reach people, help people, whatever you're doing. So there are a lot of ways to make money, people. Get out there and make that money. So the last thing that I'm going to go into, and again, product sales, I have a long list. I don't want to go into all of it because we'll be here all day, literally. But yeah, you can just create your products based on your audience and what they want from you. So the last thing that I'm going to go to is video platforms, specifically YouTube. YouTube is huge. A lot of people make money on YouTube. I know that a lot of people that make like huge money in YouTube, usually YouTube is their focus. For me, YouTube is not my focus. When I'm doing projects, I try to just film myself, for YouTube, since I'm already doing it, and then I put it on YouTube, but it's not my focus. But I am able to make, a little small monthly income from YouTube. Not a lot, probably like $100 to $200 a month, which, that's good. But it is one of my lower ways to make income. But if you want it to be your focus, YouTube is a great way to make money, through ads and things like that. So if you feel like you want to do YouTube, I would say for YouTube, consistency is key. I have not been able to be as consistent on YouTube because I'm doing 100 million other things. But if you can be consistent, it's a really good way to make money, if you have good videos and stuff. So if you're trying it on YouTube, make a plan. Like, am I posting every week? So your consistency may be once a week, or it may be every other week. It may look different, but just make sure you're being consistent with whatever you're doing. TikTok is the latest. I say it's a video platform because it's all video. That is one of the latest ways I've been able to make money. And I will say, I feel like brands are moving more into TikTok. This year, I have made a lot more money in TikTok, and I feel like they're asking more for TikTok. So I don't think it would be a bad idea if you're into Instagram to at least try to get on TikTok. I know at first I did not want to get on TikTok. I was like, I'm not doing it. There's too many platforms. And then somehow I got sucked in. But now I got more followers on TikTok than Instagram. And brands are paying for it. And they're paying good money, y'all. So get on TikTok. I do think that is the future. I'm not a psychic, but I do think that is the future. So if you can start growing your TikTok, again, consistency is key. The more I post videos, obviously, the more I grow. I know that, that sounds like duh, but it's true. Like, I get more engagement when I'm posting and things like that. So, you want to be consistent, but you can make money with TikTok. I make more money through brand sponsorships. Brands pay me to post on TikTok. but TikTok does pay me itself for video views. It's not a lot, again, probably like 400 for the whole year. So it's really not a lot, but hey, that $400 came in handy last month when I didn't make a lot of money. I cashed it out. So, and again, if you have tons of sources of revenue, all those little things add up. If you have 10 sources and it's 200 for each, that's $2,000. So, hey, who doesn't want an extra $2,000 a month? So yeah, that wraps up all of my sources of revenue. I know that was kind of like a quick rundown. I didn't want to go into too much detail again because I didn't want to go into a rabbit hole, but I detail all of this in my ebook. I mean, I break it down. I have all of, the websites that you need to go to, like what you need to do as far as brand partnerships. I walk you through how to create a media kit, how to negotiate your rates and things like that, how to appeal to brands, all the stuff that you need to make money online. So if you are serious about making money, like serious about your business, I highly recommend you to go get that ebook. I promise you, I'm not just trying to sell the ebook. It is really worth it and it's very valuable. It's more valuable than what I'm charging for it for sure. But, I love helping people. I love, being able to show people, how to grow their business. So it's priced really well. And for you guys, for listening to me babble and go on and on, I actually have a promo code for you guys for $25 off of the ebook with the code Hidden Gems. Again, if you just go to my website, check out and use Hidden Gems, you'll get $25 off that ebook. And I promise you, it will change your life and it will help you. It will just help you kind of, get you ahead of the game. If you're new and you have no idea how to make money, it really kind of sets you up. And it probably answers a lot of questions that you may have, especially if you're new. So go check that out. Thank you guys for listening. I hope that, something I shared helps you along the way and helps you get that money. All right, y'all. Later.